Hey, welcome back to Laser Engraving 911. So over a year and a half ago, I did a video titled 20 Awesome Online Resources for Your Laser Engraving Business, and it was a huge success. You guys reached out to me and told me how helpful it was, and it's still a helpful video today. So I thought to myself, what if we made version 2.0 of that video with all new resources? And that's exactly what we're gonna do in this video. So if that sounds like something you wanna get into, then buckle up, get your pen and paper out, because we're about to get into it on Laser Engraving 911. All right, so the first site we're going to take a look at is wholesalecuttingboards.com. I recently found this company a few months ago when I was getting ready to buy a bunch of inventory for my online store, and I wanted to find a place where I could just go to and know that I could get any cutting board or any kind of charcuterie board that I wanted to put on the site. When I got here, I was kind of blown away by their selection of cutting boards, and then I also realized that they have a lot of other stuff that can be laser engraved as well. So I found this site and I'm sharing it with you because I think it's a great resource, not just for cutting boards, but a lot of different wood products that can be customized, whether it's for corporate events or one-offs. I'm logged into my account now, but just to give you a quick overview, they've got charcuterie boards, novelty boards. So if you're looking for like some real estate gifts, they've got like cutting boards that are shaped in the shape of a house. But what I like best about this company is that, first of all their boards are made in the USA. Second of all, a lot of their boards are made out of wood that engraves really, really, really well. So like cherry wood, alder wood, like that really jumped out at me. And if you go to their promotional items, they've got wood sunglasses that you can get here, which I've seen at other places. And they've also got just all these other cool wood products. Click on that, and they've got a whole arsenal of things that could potentially make you money and you could be engraving. Look at these right here. This is great. So wholesalecuttingboards.com, a fantastic resource, not just for cutting boards, but a lot of engravable wood items that you can buy at wholesale pricing. You will need to have a resale certificate, and they do have some minimum order quantities to take advantage of their awesome wholesale pricing. All right, next up on the list, we've got Chubarka.com, my favorite supplier for anodized aluminum blanks. What I like about these guys is that they're all made in the USA, and the people behind it, I think they're like third generation owners. Just a really great company. Just as a reminder, before we talk about Chubarka, every single website that we go to, I'm gonna list links in the description below so you can have easy access to them and go and do a deeper dive than what we're doing in this video. So let's get back to Chubarka.com. So why I like using them. First of all, their products are thick and the anodizing is superior. They're really well made. When you get their business cards, they are thick business cards. They're not those cheap, flimsy, paper thin ones that you get on AliExpress or any of those other sites. They're actually made really well. They've got a huge selection, like these luggage tags, they've got regular dog tags, military dog tags, stuff for promotional use like these divot markers, guitar picks, all kinds of shapes and sizes, tons of different anodizing colors. Just a really huge selection of products to pick from. Their prices are super fair. Obviously, you need to buy in bulk to get those nice prices. They also have stainless steel products and some brass products. And if you're into sublimation, they offer a lot of these different shapes in sublimation style. So they have that dye sublimation coating on them. So if you're looking for a reliable, high quality anodized aluminum blank supplier, then Chubarka is the place that you're definitely going to want to check out. All right, so these next three sections that we're going to talk about are about generating laser engraving art or laser engraving files using Midjourney, which is an artificial intelligence art generating service. Whether you've tried AI art or you don't know about it, I'm going to try to break it down in the next three resources on how to get started in a very deliberate and specific way that I generate AI art using Midjourney for laser engraving. There's tons of different images you can generate, but specifically, I'm going to show you my method for generating really cool laser engraving files and SVG files. There is a process to start using Midjourney, and I'm going to try to break it down as best as I can. The first thing you're going to want to do, and I'll list links in the description below, is you're going to want to download an app called Discord. Discord is not just a chat server or a place to hang out. It also is a place where services live at and how you operate them. So you've got to do this step by step to start using Midjourney. So download the Discord app. Then once you're in the Discord app, which is right here, and install that, you're going to want to join the Midjourney server. Once you've joined the Midjourney server, then you need to go over to the Midjourney site and sign up for the type of account you need. It used to be free. Now it's about $10 a month to be able to start generating images. So let's go over to the Midjourney site and we'll take a look over there. All right, so here we are on the Midjourney site, and this is where you're gonna sign up for an account so you can start generating images in the Discord server. So you're just gonna come over here, and if you already have the Discord app open and you're signed into your Discord account, which you just made, when you click sign up, it's gonna say continue with Discord, and it's going to recognize that you're already in Discord, and then it's gonna prompt you with what kind of plan you would like to buy, whether it's the $10 a month plan, which is totally fine for me. I don't use it that much. And then they have other plans where you can generate like thousands and thousands of images. So it's up to you, which plan you want to get. And once you're signed up for that, should be good to go. When you go back into the Discord app, you'll be able to start generating images. So let's go back over to the Discord app and I'll show you how I do that within Discord. Haha, just kidding. We're not going back into the Discord app. I forgot one final resource, which I found very helpful. When you're generating images, you have to give the Midjourney server a prompt within Discord. You have to say, I want you to generate an image of a bear riding a bicycle, holding two fireworks, shooting fireworks out with an American flag on the back of the bicycle or something like that. You have to come up with the prompts, but they're very specific prompts. And unless you're seasoned at writing these prompts, you're gonna have a hard time getting the type of image that we're trying to generate specifically for laser engraving. So a way I found around that, that's very affordable, is this site called PromptBase. And there's probably other ones out there like it too. But anyway, at PromptBase, it allows people who are more experienced at writing those prompts to sell their prompts so you can start generating the images and the quality that you need right away. So on PromptBase, it's like a marketplace of people that write prompts. So if you're looking for a specific type of image, you can just say, okay, which AI art service am I using? And you can come over here and I'm using Midjourney. And then these are the type of art that Midjourney is going to create and the styles that it's going to create, but you don't have to worry about writing the prompt because they're open-ended prompts that someone else has already tested and taken the time to write. So there's tons and tons of different styles of art you can create, but specifically, I like to create art that's just RGB black and white because I'm going to be tracing it or laser cutting it or engraving it. I don't want stuff in color. I don't want watercolor pictures. So let me show you some of the prompts that I've purchased that really work well for me. So you can see all the prompt styles that I generate are in black and white, or they're line art, or maybe I want to create some kind of a 3D engraved art. So I've got this Art Deco relief style that I can generate in Midjourney, and then I can use my software to start doing 3D art. This is one that we're going to use here in a second, the SVG black tattoo file. It doesn't create tattoo files, but it creates this amazing vector art. It's not quite a vector, you still got to convert it, but it's like just ripe for turning into a vector for engraving. So now you know about PromptBase. Go and buy some prompts. They're like $2, $3, and then you have a list of prompts that work so you can cut right to the chase and start generating in Midjourney. And now I promise we're gonna go over to the Discord app, use Midjourney, and I'll show you how to do that. All right, and finally here we are back over at the Discord app. We signed up for our Midjourney account. We've got Discord installed. What's interesting about this is once you see the Midjourney app over here, I have some other apps that I've tried out here. You're gonna click on that and you're gonna join one of the newcomers rooms. I'm gonna join this room. You gotta join a room to be able to generate some art. So what's interesting about this is you get to see all the art that everyone's generating right now in the server. As you're generating art, you're gonna see new art pop up. People could be generating stuff for their website, for who knows. You're gonna see all kinds of weird stuff, and everyone's going to see what you're generating too. Nothing is really hidden here. So if you see someone using a prompt that generated an image style that you like, you can just copy and paste that, but change some of the details in their prompt to what you want it to generate. You can download anybody's AI generated art. They can download your art. It's pretty transparent here, and they do have restrictions on the type of art that you can generate here, so you're not going to see any gore, or you might see some weird stuff. Mostly I have not seen any nudity on here, so public service announcement, you're going to see everyone's art in here. Anyway, let's get into it. So over at PromptBase, I've got that prompt that I like, so I'm going to open that up real quick, and here's what it looks like. So don't worry about the details of this prompt, it's just really what it's going to generate. So I'm going to copy the prompt that I bought, right? I'm going to go back in here, and in the chat window, as if I'm chatting, I'm going to click /imagine. It actually comes up for you. You're asking Midjourney to imagine what you want. So I'm just going to Control V and paste my prompt in, and you'll see what I wanted to create is empty. So a black and white vector style image of a blank tattoo in the style of Cricut SVG cut files, white background, bold, thick, filled in, outlook, whatever. This prompt works well for what I wanted to. So let's go ahead and pick something. How about we do exactly what I said in the other video? So a bear riding a bicycle holding 2 American flags. So let's just, I don't know why I said that, but let's just see what it generates. And that's it. So I changed it right there, and then I'm just gonna hit enter. And what you're gonna see is it's gonna say waiting to start, because there's a lot of people generating art right now. So it takes a couple of seconds, and then it's going to start generating what I asked it to generate. So here we go. You can see it. Look at this. You know, it's doing its best. Now here's what you do. So this is not an image that I would probably use, but the closest one that I kind of like is maybe this one. So if you like one of these 4 images, you see these selections right here. You can say, I really like version 1, which is here, version 2, version 3, or version 4. You could say, I really like maybe version, I don't know, let's go with 2, version 2. And when I click that, it's going to generate 4 more images based on version 2. And you can do this infinitely, and it'll just keep recycling these images, but different variations of it. No, this bear's meaner, right? So this guy, he's angry. Look at this guy. Mr. Angry American Flag Bicycle Bear. All right, let's try something different. So I'm gonna get /imagine. I'm gonna paste in my prompt again since I still have it, except this time I'm gonna do something more realistic. Say you're looking for a wreath or a circle of roses or flowers as part of something that you're making for a customer. Wreath of roses with hearts intertwined. I don't know if I spelled that right. And I didn't change any of the other prompt. I just put in something new. So let's see what it generates there. And you notice that it's not putting a lot of color in there, and that's important for me. So when I'm vectorizing it later using Adobe Illustrator, I don't have a hard time dealing with all those colors. I don't want colors in the stuff that I'm generating. So these are actually really cool. I kind of like number, I don't know. What do I want? I like number 4. So let's click version 4 and see if it generates 4 more based on version 4. I think you're starting to get the idea at this point. You want to use high quality prompts. You want to have prompts specific to what your project is doing. And I don't really like any of these either. So you may have to keep recycling until you get the thing that you want. I'm actually going to pick this one because I liked the original one. What I'm going to do now is, if you like one, you're going to click U4, which means upscaled number 4. And what that's going to do is show you a big image of what it generated right there. So there it is. And I'm just going to click it. It's going to open up, and it's not the highest resolution, but don't worry, we're going to use Photoshop and Illustrator to fix that right now. So you just right click on the image, save the image to your folder or whatever, and then you're going to start working with it to turn it into a vector, and it takes 2 seconds, and you've got unlimited vector art, unlimited laser engraving files for any kind of project you could ever need, and they're yours to use. You didn't rip them from somebody else. They were generated by AI, and you can do whatever you want with them. You could even sell them as an SVG pack on Etsy if you wanted to. So lots of different possibilities here. Just got to get familiar with how to use Midjourney. So let's go ahead and convert this into a vector real quick, and then we'll get on to some more resources. All right, I've got my file opened up in Photoshop. First thing I'm going to do, and I'll list a link up top to a video I've already made on how to do this with any kind of art that you download. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the image size. You see it's only 72 DPI. I'm going to change that to 300. So I'm going to upscale it. You can see that we just upscaled this image, so it's got higher fidelity at this point. And there is a little bit of gray in there, so I'm just going to go to adjustments, threshold. I'm going to get rid of all that gray, but I want to keep that detail right there. Yeah, I like that right there. I'm going to click OK, and then I'm going to export this as a PNG. Then we're going to open it up over in Illustrator. So let's do that now. All right, so now I've got it opened up in Adobe Illustrator here, and it's a nice 300 DPI, no gray in there at all. And I'm just going to click image trace, and you can totally do this in Lightburn too. If you got Lightburn, you can totally do exactly what I'm doing using the Lightburn live trace. You don't need Adobe Illustrator. So I'm just gonna select the image, hit image trace. It's gonna trace it real quick. I'm going to adjust the trace just a little bit on the threshold so it gets a little bit more of that detail, a little bit more. Perfect. And then I'm gonna click expand. I'm gonna ungroup, select a white area. After I ungrouped, select same fill color and delete all the white. Highlight everything. Oh, actually, if you look real close, there's some little elements in there that I do not want. So I'm just gonna pick those away. And since it's ungrouped, I can just select them individually. Any kind of loose floaty pieces that Midjourney created that are useless to me. I'm getting a little picky now. All right, I'm just gonna zoom out. I'm gonna highlight that all. I'm gonna hit Control G and group it. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I have a clean, ready to be engraved or resized or modified, whatever it is that they need. I've got a nice wreath of roses. This is just a very small introduction to generating AI art using Midjourney for laser engraving, but I'm excited. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever used Midjourney before, how you use it, what you think about AI generated art. I love to hear what you have to say about it. All right, we're out of the AI art section. Let's move on to the other resources. All right, so next up on the list, we've got Affinity Designer 2 and Affinity Photo 2. So if you don't know what those two programs are, they're basically the equivalent of Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Photoshop, but you don't have some crazy subscription that you have to sign up for. You just buy it once and you're good. And then you get all the updates. And the reason I'm mentioning this as part of laser engraving resource is because recently Adobe has decided to update their terms of service, and it's pretty gross what they're doing in their terms of service. They're basically trying to tell everybody that everything we do on Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop belongs to them, and they can use it any way they want for the rest of time, and they can go in and snoop on all your files and even train your artwork for their AI part of their suite anytime they want. And let me just tell you that a lot of people are super pissed about this, and I kind of, after reading the terms of service that they just launched, I kind of felt like I needed to take a shower afterwards. I was disappointed as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to dump Adobe immediately because I'm kind of entrenched in them for the past decade, but I am starting to poke around at alternatives, and the best one that I found is Affinity. So here's their website. And of course, they're taking advantage of the fact that Adobe is in a total dumpster fire right now, and they're offering 50% off of all of their products on their website. It's a one-time pay, and you've got basically Affinity Designer 2, which is almost a complete clone of Adobe Illustrator without the Live Trace feature. So they do not have Live Trace, but if you've got Lightburn, Lightburn's got that built into it. So maybe you just use the Live Trace feature in Lightburn and you're good to go there. And then they also have kind of a Photoshop clone called Affinity Photo 2. So if you're looking for an alternative to Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop right now, which I'm just kind of got one foot in the water looking around right now, even though I am super pissed about their new terms of service, you might want to look into Affinity Designer 2 and Photo 2. This could be a possible graphic design option for you to look into. And next up, of course, we've got Johnson Plastics Plus. So you know that I'm a big fan of Johnson Plastic Plus, and I didn't want to make this video without mentioning them. They are a fantastic resource for getting laser engraving blanks, especially for like bulk orders, like corporate events. They've got not just laser engraving blanks like you see here if you want to get cups or slate or leatherette products, Bible covers, saddle collection, that's their leatherette collection. They've got tons of laser engraving blanks, but they also sell the best, that's my opinion, the best sheet material for acrylic for making decals and signs. And it's not just the acrylic. They've got so many different colors of acrylic. You can get it with 3M adhesive backing. You can get it with no scratch finish. You can buy big sheets, quarter sheets, small sheets, any kind of cast acrylic that you could possibly think of. You know I'm a big fan of the Laser Max, but they also have some wood products, which is really cool. And so they've got like colored, here's the colored wood shop. I think this stuff is really cool right here. So they've got the Romart Color Shop wood. So these are dyed plywood that come in these different colors. They engrave great, and they laser cut great, and you can do some really cool crafts. So if you haven't checked out Johnson Plastic Plus yet and you don't have an account, get yourself an account. I'll leave a link below, and put this in your back pocket because this is one of your #1 resources for buying laser engraving blanks. All right, here we go. Next on the list, we are going to go overseas to AliExpress. So AliExpress was around way before Temu was, and if you haven't watched my video on Temu, I go through a bunch of products from them, but AliExpress is another great site if you're looking for inexpensive items, blank items to engrave. Here's just a couple little samples on some of the offerings, and I'll list links in the description below on some of these categories that I like to shop for. Wedding ring boxes, super engravable and great for the wedding category. I've featured these on some of my other videos, but they have a great selection over here. Some other things that you can get over here are they have leatherette patches with the adhesive already on that. So if you don't want to make your own leather patches, maybe you're a smaller shop, you don't want to invest in all that stuff, you can come over here. They've got a selection of leatherette patches for engraving and a bunch of other leatherette products. They've got these minimalist anodized aluminum wallets, which I've featured before on my channel in different colors. These are great for corporate gifts or just one-off gifts. I mean, look at that, you know, $5.31, can't beat that. And here's another cool product that's super engravable, these anodized aluminum little key organizers, and they come in different colors as well. These would totally be awesome for engraving. You could put for bachelor gifts or anything like that. And then they have a huge selection of very inexpensive wood-handled folding knives, pocket knives. These always are great engravable items. So go ahead and head on over and check out AliExpress. See if you can find some blank engravable items. They have been really upping their inventory, I've noticed, in the last 6 months of engravable blanks. And I'll list links in the description below of some of the things that I really like from AliExpress. All right, next let's talk about glassware. So normally I usually go to Web Restaurant Store, another great place to buy blank glassware, but recently I found K-Tom, and I don't know if it's Katom or K-Tom, but what I really like about coming here is, first of all, their prices are super fair. You can buy cases at a time, and they've got all the different styles of glassware that you could ever need, ranging from super inexpensive to super expensive glassware. And just as a rule of thumb, the cheaper the glassware, the better it engraves with the CO2 laser. So always keep that in mind. But I really like the way that they have their website laid out. Like if I click on Rocks Glasses Old Fashioned, you can go down and just start looking at all the different styles. You can see that half a dozen here is $13. That's not bad at all. And they really just got it laid out nice. Here's an example. So here's some like Libby glasses, you know, for 3 dozen if you want to get Libby brand, or you could go with kind of the generic brand right here. You know, it's just a great place to shop for wine glasses, champagne flutes, and their layout is really, really nice. So just another alternative to Webb Restaurant Store, K-Tom. If you have a chance, go over and check it out next time you have a customer who needs some glassware. All right, next, moving on, we're going to get to SS Activewear, which is where I buy my Richardson hats. So the next few websites that we're going to go through are suppliers for everything you need to start making leatherette patches or leather patches for hats, which you've heard me talk about on the channel before. But these are where I get the base resources for those. There's lots of different suppliers that sell Richardson hats. I just like to use SS Activewear. And something that you do need to know is you will have to have a resale certificate and sign up for a wholesale account with them and have your business in place so you don't get charged tax on the hats and you're able to buy from them. So I like using them. They've got it laid out really clean, all the different styles of Richardson snapback 112 hats. This is my go-to resource for where I buy my blanks. Their pricing is pretty standard, right along the lines with all the other suppliers, and they deliver fast and their ordering is easy. But this is where I get my Richardson hats from. It's SS Activewear. And yet another hat supplier as an alternative, in case you don't want to go to SS Activewear, you can head over to AutoCap. So AutoCap I've been using for years. They have a great selection of all kinds of different baseball hats, snapback hats, all kinds of different styles. They've got a hat that's very similar to the Richardson hat, although it's not quite a Richardson hat, but their prices are actually a little bit cheaper than some of the big brands, and they've got beanie caps, just every kind of hat you could think of. I think one of their warehouses is based really close to me here in Georgia, but AutoCap is another great resource for buying wholesale headgear, headwear. So now you've got 2 different resources on where to get your blank caps from. Well, now that we've got the blank hat situation out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about where to get some amazing leatherette and some amazing adhesive for your leather patches or your leatherette. Unless you've been under a rock somewhere, Lone Star Adhesive right now is the leader in creating leatherette sheets for making your own patches for hats, and also selling some really, really strong adhesive for making your own leather patches if that's what you want to do. I've talked about them on my channel before. I've been noticing lately they're just releasing all kinds of new colors of leatherette. They've got pre-cut patches. Let's just take a look at their durable adhesive right here. So you can get it in 12-inch wide rolls, 24-inch wide rolls. Their pricing is super fair on all their products. They've even got their own hat press that they're selling now, which is a dual heat platen hat press. So if you want to get into making thick real leather patches, or pretty much for any kind of leather patches, the best kind of heat press you're going to want to have is dual platen heat press, where it heats from the bottom and also from the top. That way you get heat underneath the hat and on the top, so you get a nice good melt on the adhesive on there. Anyway, if you're looking to get started making leatherette patches or leather patches, you definitely want to head over to Lone Star Adhesive. I'll list a link in the description below. Great company, good people behind the company, super fast shipping, and definitely fair pricing. So make sure you go and check them out. All right. So maybe you don't want to make leatherette patches and you want to just go all out and make real leather patches. You get yourself some Lone Star adhesive. You can watch my other video on how to marry that adhesive to real leather, and you're looking to get some great leather, then look no further than the Hide House in Napa, California. I've been using this company for over 7 years. They're a great company. They ship super fast, and they have thousands and thousands of different kinds of leather, and you can even actually call them and order a swatch book that has real swatches in it of all their different styles of leather. They've got tanned leather that's already colored, but you can also get veg tan leather right down here in the 2 to 3 ounce thickness, or even thicker in the 5 to 6 ounce thickness. And they usually sell it in like half hides or full hides. That way you can laser cut, laser engrave, oil, tan, color your own patches. But anyway, this is a great resource for buying raw leather for making your patches for those hats. I can't say enough about them. Great company. Definitely something you're going to want to bookmark for when you do need raw leather for your next leather engraving project. All right, so I couldn't help myself and just got one more thing to cover, and this is on Amazon. And this is a product that I always keep in stock in my shop. This is the mahogany wood veneer with PSA, basically adhesive backing. And what's really cool about this product is that you buy a whole roll of it and you can actually make wood stickers out of this, or you can make real wood patches and then use your heat press to mount them on the hats that we just talked about. Wood patches on hats are super unique and super cool, and wood stickers are also very cool, and you can totally make them with your laser. The reason I picked mahogany is because it engraves really dark and it has a pretty light background. You can also pick cherry wood if you can find it, but this is a great product to have in the shop, and you can get super crafty with it, and you don't need to add any adhesive to it because the adhesive that comes on the back actually melts really well with the hat press and creates a permanent bond to the hat. I've tried that over and over again, and it works fantastic. So if you haven't picked any of this up, make sure you head over to Amazon. I'll list a link in the description below and get yourself some of this veneer. It's super cool to have, and I'm curious to see what you guys will do with it. All right, so now I think we're gonna move back into the laser equipment category kind of from now on until the end of the video, with a little software here and there. But first, let's go ahead and talk about the FilterBox fume extractors. So I recently got my hands on one of these FilterBox fume extractors, not to be confused with some of the other units that are calling them smoke purifiers. These are not smoke purifiers. These are real, legitimate industrial fume extractors. You're going to pay a decent price for one of these, but if you're looking to laser engrave inside your shop without having to vent outside, then this is the type of real industrial fume extractor that you're going to want to look into. I've got my hands on the Micro right now, and I've got it hooked up in the shop. I've been doing some testing on it. In a few weeks, I'm going to drop a video giving you my thoughts on it. But over here at FilterBox, they make everything from the Micro, as you can see, to the Compact X, and then they go even bigger, and they go even bigger than that. So what's really cool about this particular fume extractor, and I have talked about a few on my channel, is that it's got an intelligent system where those stacked filters in there, you can put it into kind of a assessment mode where it can assess by you putting on each filter which one needs to be replaced. And a lot of fume extractors don't work that way. Like when your filters clog, you got to replace everything all at once. But with the FilterBox, you can actually figure out which one needs to be replaced and which one's okay, saving you some money. So if you're looking in the market for fume extractors, or you're in an area where you can't vent outside and you really need one of these, I highly suggest that you look into the FilterBox and invest in yourself. Basically, it is an investment. They're not the cheapest fume extractors out there, but they are quality fume extractors. I'll list a link in the description below if you want to get a hold of them and ask them any questions. They'll help you size which unit that you need for your laser, which is also really cool. And I also have a special link down below. If you do use that code, you'll get an extra year of warranty on whatever unit you end up getting. FilterBox, excellent fume extractors. Let's move on to the next one. All right, so next up, we've got a website called lasertips.org, and this is for all of you just getting into fiber laser engraving, or if you already have a fiber laser, maybe you're looking for a specific setting for some new material, or you just want to try out some new settings. This is a really interesting site. So they've got a whole list of settings that some of them are user supplied, some of them I think they supplied themselves. but you can just go down this list, and once you click on, so here's one, deep engraving on silver. You click on it, and it is for EasyCAD, but you can translate a lot of these over to Lightburn if you're using Lightburn, and it gives you a great starting point. It tells you the power, the speed, the type of pattern of the hatch pattern, and the lens type that they did it on, and then even a picture of what the final result was with a 20-watt Raycus fiber laser. Look, they even got settings for cutting thin silver. Just a whole bunch of fiber laser settings on here. And I noticed recently they started offering, and I don't know, oh, here we go. Look, settings for UV lasers. So I know a lot of you are starting to get an interest in UV lasers. They're super cool. They are kind of pricey right now, but you can put in your input frequency and it will spit out some great settings for you for your UV laser. Looks like they're starting to get quite a bit of settings here, and they even have CO2 laser settings for CO2 Galvo. Check out lasertips.org. Great place to find some new settings for some of your fiber lasers, UV lasers, or Galvo CO2 lasers. All right, next I think we're going to go over and check out some online software. This is kind of the new kid on the block for creating multi-layered vector map files that are maps. So if you ever wanted to get into map making with your laser cutter and engraver, Laser Map Maker is an online platform. It's a paid platform where you can sign up and you can basically go in and type in all the data that you could ever possibly want to make your map. And what it does is it allows you to turn off and turn on layers. So if you want to leave like every single street on there, you can do that. If you just want the highways, you can do that. If you want to show where lakes are, you can do that. But what's really cool about these features is that you get to customize the layers that you want to see and remove ones that you don't. And in the end, after you've customized all your layers and picked all the little landmarks and things that you want, this software, this online software, will export everything that you just did into ready to go SVG files with very minimal editing required. Most of the stuff that I've exported just playing around with it for a little bit was super clean. Let me show you what I did. Just a really simple map the other day when I was goofing around with this. And I just thought it would be cool to take a little snippet of some of the main streets of downtown Roswell and then create another layer with the City of Roswell logo. And then I did like a little mock-up of what that would look like. This file came right out of Laser Map Maker. It's ready to be cut. Just to kind of give myself a little mock-up, once I glue that on top of my engraved backing here, I would end up with this cool little map with the kind of City of Roswell logo engraved behind it, kind of hiding behind it. But this is a very simple map. There's so much more you can do with this program. So check out Laser Map Maker. They do offer a free trial so you can try it out. If that's your thing and you want to get into making laser cut maps, then they've made it even easier over here than it has been ever before. And since we're talking about online services, for those of you that missed it in my first 20 awesome online resources, I want to talk about Joy Designers again. I've been using her for years. Joy is a fantastic artist and I use her for all my art conversions. So as you can see here, here are some samples of actual pictures that I have sent Joy to have her turn into files that are ready to be laser engraved. And she does it fast. Here's a picture of the London Clock Tower. This is what she kicked back. Here's the University of Michigan seal. I didn't want to mess with this or convert it into a vector. I just needed it done quickly. And here's another logo. I think this is for a rugby team. Let's go over here. Check this out. So she got this full color logo, and she knows when I reach out to her and ask her to convert something from color into a black and white vector that's ready to be put in my CO2 or fiber laser, she knows exactly what you're asking for, and she will always kick back high quality graphics. I mean, down to the little tiny lines. Here's what I have to say about Joy Services. So what Joy is selling you, and it's very cost effective, is she's giving you your time back. This kind of stuff to convert would take me an hour or so, when I could be doing other stuff in my laser engraving business that could make me more money than spending time converting this logo to a vector. Same with this one. I don't have the skills to be able to turn this picture into line art. So what I'm buying from Joy isn't really digitizing. What I'm buying is time back for myself and time back for my business, so I can do other things and keep moving the business forward. If you don't have a digitizer yet, if you're looking for someone who can effectively, quickly, and affordably convert any single picture that you throw at her into a vector that's ready to get laser engraved, you want to reach out to Joy. Fastest place to get a hold of her is on her Facebook page. You can contact her, you can send her a message, you can tell her about your project. She'll give you a price quote. She does have a website, and I'll make sure I list links to both her Facebook page and her website, and you can go ahead and get in touch with her. Try her out. She's amazing. I guarantee you, once you do a couple of jobs with her, you will be thanking me and thanking Joy for the rest of your career. All right, let's move on to the next one. Now, I think I was just talking about this on the community post the other day about how I made my own packaging, cutting some foam to set in. But if you want to make your own wood boxes for products that you sell online, this website, boxes.py, is a great resource for making custom laser cut boxes. I mean, they've got some files already that you can download, but what's really great about this site is they have got the box builder. So if you just want to do like angled box, you can put in all the dimensions that you need, how high you want it, what format you want it to kick out, and then it's going to kick you out the laser cutting files so you can go ahead and laser cut that exact box that you designed for your laser. And they've got tons of samples here that are super cool. You can also use it for acrylic. Keep in mind that when you are cutting boxes out and doing these kind of things, you're going to have to make sure that your kerf offset is right. We've talked about that before on the channel. But man, as far as making simple gift boxes, they've kind of taken the guesswork out of it. And this website generates some really clean laser cutting files. So if you're looking to get into laser cut boxes or containers, this boxes.py is definitely something you're going to want to bookmark. All right, so for this last section, these last three, I'm going to talk about my current favorite laser engraving systems based on budget, starting from not the lowest price out there, but the lowest price that I would recommend for those of you just getting started off, going all the way up to the mid-tier and all the way up to the highest price units that I think are fantastic machines and would recommend to anybody looking to get into laser engraving. So first off on the list, we've got Xtool. The reason I like Xtool and kind of warmed up to them over the last year is because I really appreciate how much they're innovating with their machines and trying to push the barriers of what's possible with laser engraving. I give them a lot of credit for that. The Xtool F1 Ultra right now is the new hot system from Xtool, and it's getting all kinds of video reviews. I still haven't even done my full review on it yet, which will be coming up, but it is a fantastic system. It's got tons of capabilities. It's very universal. But that's not the only thing that I want to talk about at Xtool. They also have the CO2 series. So the Xtool P2 series is fantastic. They've got the S1, which is a diode laser, kind of a flatbed desktop laser. The P series is really nice. So they've also got the Xtool P2 55 watt CO2 desktop laser, which is also a really nice introductory level CO2 laser. And I'm a big fan of CO2 lasers because you're not limited to those acrylics that you can't cut. You can actually engrave glass with them, whereas something you can't do with the diode systems. However, they're not a galvo-based system, so you do have to make sure whatever you're engraving fits into the machine unless you get like their conveyor belt attachment. And then if you just want to get into a smaller desktop system, you could look at the S series, which is the Xtool S1. And if you want to get into even friendlier, just starter unit, I mean, look at the base price on the S1. This is a diode laser, but it is a desktop gantry system, meaning that it's got an arm where the laser head moves back and forth. Doesn't matter what your budget is, they've got a little something for everybody. So if you're looking to just get started and you want to get a feel of what it's like, definitely head over to Xtool and check out their full array of options. They've got a little bit for everybody. So there is my first recommendation for anyone looking to get into laser engraving. It would be to head over to Xtool and check out some of their systems. All right, now we're moving into some pro level lasers, and first we're going to talk about the Eon Laser Redline series. Now, you saw me do a quick interview at the trade show recently, and I got my first look at this system, and I've actually got one of these coming to the shop here in a few months, and I'm really excited to get my hands on it and really put it to the test. But the Redline series, from what I know and what I've seen so far, is a great laser for anyone looking to do laser engraving full time that wants fast output, a solid system, and a company that I believe, after talking to them many different times, is a company that really believes in bringing you a product that they can stand behind, and their customer service, from what I've seen so far, is pretty stellar. It's a great team over there at Eon Laser, and this new Redline series that they just came out with is kind of mind-blowing. It is a very fast unit. You can get the base model starting at around 9,000, but you're probably going to want to add some upgrades to it, like the Mira 7S Redline or the Mira 9S Redline. You can get RF tubes in it. You can get upgraded servos so it goes even faster. There's just all kinds of different upgrades that you can get on this powerhouse of a machine, and it doesn't take up too much space either. So I'm going to just leave it at that for now, because I'm really going to get into one of these Redline series when it comes here to the shop and do a deep dive for you all. But if you're looking to upgrade your existing laser and you're looking to step into something that's going to output tons of jobs a day and is built to last, you're definitely going to want to check out the Redline series over at Eon Laser. I'll list a link in the description below. All right, and last but not least, we're going to talk about my favorite CO2 laser. That is the Epilog laser. And, you know, I can't say enough about them. I'm kind of biased because I've had Epilog lasers for almost a decade now, and they've just been really, really, really good to me. They have a great lineup, anywhere from super pro level to mid-range. Their speeds are amazing and how fast they can complete jobs. The quality of their build, you can see immediately. Every single component they use is like top of the line. They are made in the USA. I believe their headquarters are in Colorado. And just looking here at the Fusion Pro series, you can get a 24 by 24, you can get a 36 by 24 inch, or you can go for the Fusion Pro 48, which is a 48 inch by 36 bed. All these systems have the camera system built into them. You can get dual source in some of them. You can get fiber and CO2. If you want, you can add that upgrade. All of their systems use RF tubes, so that means there's no water chiller involved at all. I'm a huge fan. The company has always been really, really good to me. If I've ever had any technical issue, they have great customer support. They're responsive on their emails. They have a great warranty, and it's just one of those products that's out there that's like the top of the line product. I don't personally think that they're overpriced, because I have seen them and I've worked with them, and I know that I got exactly what I paid for. I mean, that's just how it is. If you want a professional industrial laser and you're looking to just kind of reach the pinnacle of CO2 laser engraving, you're definitely going to want to look at Epilogs. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed my top 20 awesome laser engraving resources. I hope that in maybe another year we'll do another one and see what we can get into. Make sure you leave a comment below on what you got value out the most. And once again, thank you to all my subscribers for supporting my channel. Couldn't do it without you. And I'll see you on the next one right here on Laser Engraving 911.